All right, our next guest is a former member of the Army's elite Delta Force. He's hunted down some of America's most dangerous enemies with the help of drones. He's got a book, and it's called Drone Warrior. The man himself is here, Brett Velicovich. Got it right?
Thanks for having me, sir.
Velicovich.
Yep, you got it right.
So, you operate drones. You're the kind of the Special Forces drone guy.
Well,
and you had authority to identify a terrorist, press the button, and kill him. That was you?
Well, what we mean by that is just like, businesses essentially use data to drive their decisions on who to go after. I utilize intelligence data to drive my decisions on which targets we should be going after in organizations like the Islamic State of Iraq or al-Qaeda in Iraq. I was not the drone pilot. I was not the trigger puller. I'm not the guy shooting the terrorists in the face. I'm the guy telling them who's the person to go after and where they're going to be and pinpoint them to a specific location so that, we can go and basically capture or kill these individuals.
I am told that you identified al-Baghdadi back in 2010. You found him, located him, and killed him. That was under your command?
It wasn't under my command, but I was one of the first people to designate, to locate Baghdadi and understand just how important of an individual he was. He had just gotten released from prison, and we saw him very quickly rise through the ranks. At the time, he was maybe number 4 or 5 in the overall Islamic State of Iraq organization, and we actually used him to take us to the original 2 leaders of the Islamic State of Iraq. And when we cut off the heads of the snake, he essentially took power and was able to take command, and then U.S. troops were told to get out of the country, and now you know what happened with ISIS. But the reality is, yes, we spent a lot of time going after him and picking apart his network and basically, taking guys out that he surrounded himself with, and he was able to get away even with the constant amount of pressure of the U.S. forces that were going after him. What do you make of the morality? I don't know about the morality, the legality, perhaps, the constitutionality of droning a terrorist, because that is very much part of our anti-ISIS policy. You identify them, you drone them, you kill them. Yeah, I mean, the morality of it is, when there's innocent civilians that are hurt, these are the things that keep us up at night. But it's not my job to decide what the morality is of it. It was my job to hunt terrorists. And so the U.S. government asked me to do a job. I wasn't there to decide whether or not it was right or wrong. But when you read what's in the book, you're going to see all of the lives that we saved, and you're going to see how drones are being used to preserve life more so than take it. Are we changing the rules of engagement? Because I understand that under President Obama, you were tightly restricted on who you could drone. You had to make sure you just got one person, no women, children, anybody else surrounding. Have those rules of engagement changed? Well, they've changed quite a bit, and you'd be surprised, actually. President Obama even increased the amount of drone use, which I don't think a lot of people understand. He focused more on this covert war because he saw the importance of drone technology. But at the same time, he was placing additional restrictions on these things, like making sure no women or children were hurt in the process. But now, we can see some of those rules being loosened. I think as long as you give the men and women in uniform the authority to do what they need to do to go after these guys, they're going to do the job that the American people asked them to. And so that's why I do believe we should loosen the restrictions a bit on this. And I know that, from being behind these types of programs, how important it is to make sure that we're not going after anyone else other than the exact target we're trying to find, and the whole point is to save lives. Along with Eric's book, The Swamp, I will read your book, Drone Warrior, and I'll see if I can push it up the charts for you later. Thank you very much, Eric. Good to have you with us. Thank you.